Hey everyone, I'm Dorothy Strouhal. I am the owner of Your Makeup Expert and co-host on Grit and Glam podcast. I wanted to come to you today and talk about making a video. I have been in the video industry for almost 20 years as a celebrity makeup artist, and I know that making a video can feel very hard and very scary. Nobody likes to hear their voice. Nobody likes to see themselves on camera. It's just one of those things we kind of resist against. But what I want to do is I want to make it very easy for you, very simple with just some few tips and tricks. So here's some of the basics, okay? Let's get started. So the first thing we have to really do in making a video is make content. I know this is very simplistic, but building good, impactful content is key. And so there's really just a 1, 2, 3 step in building content, and I want to go over that with you. First thing we want to do is get cue cards together. Now, these little things right here, you used them in high school for your research papers? Yeah, I know, traumatized. We're going to redeem them. This is what we call cue cards, or your bullet points, or your cheat sheet, whatever you want to call it. And then sometimes if you don't want to use those, I use a big notepad. It's big enough that I can read it without glasses and I can have all my notes on it. But having your content together is important. Introducing yourself well and correctly is important and quickly. So the first thing you want to do in building your content is introduce yourself. Who you are, what you do, what your heart is, all of that fun jazz, but making it super short. And when I say super short, I mean less than 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds max, because that's not your video. That's not all that you're going to talk about. You just want people to know who you are and just say hi. Secondly is you're going to put the meat. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your intro on here and remind them, who you are, who you're with, and what you're doing. And then the second thing is you're going to put the meat of what you're going to talk about. I use bullet points. Some people need to write it out completely. I just put bullet points. And remember, each bullet point content that you put on there is going to equivalent to about 2 to 3 minutes of talk time. So if you're doing it for social media, 1 bullet point. You need a short video for social media. It's not something you want long. If you're doing it for a podcast, calculate up how long you want the podcast to be. Most 20 to 30 minute podcasts really only need 2 to 3 bullet point or 2 to 3 questions that is going to be answered by you or whoever is on your podcast. The last thing you want to do after you get all of your content, after you get all of your questions and your bullet points down, this is the one thing that most people forget to do, and it's call to action. You want to give a call to action. What a call to action is telling people what you want them to do. In other words, thank you for joining us for this video. Hey, go ahead and hit click and subscribe below and join me for all the upcoming tips and tricks on video creation. That's my call to action. If you want them to go to your website, hey, check out the website over at Grit and Glam Podcast. We got some great content for you there to share and to take in and understand and grow from. Call to action. So writing your call to action out on your cue card really will help you get it in your head together. And even if you just put your bullet points on there, I'm going to send them to my website. I'm going to send them to my social media, all that stuff. It's perfect. So this is Video Content 101, putting together your cue cards, putting your thoughts together in an organized form so that when you turn the camera on and hit go, you're not starting over and over and over and getting frustrated by taking a million takes. You've got your thoughts together, you've got them put on little note cards, and you can show your note cards. I mean, nobody cares if you come up and read it for a second or look at it. It's not a big deal. So make sure you have those together and make sure you do it in a clear, concise way. Thanks for joining me. Okay, we're going to have more tips and tricks soon, so go ahead and click subscribe below or follow below so that you can catch all of the tips and tricks on making great videos. Do you see what I did there? Yeah, call to action. Okay, if we're going to make videos, we really need to understand how to use the camera and how to set it up and how it's optimal for what platform we're going to use it on. I like to keep things simple, so I film everything landscape. And if you don't know what landscape is, it's side to side, and portrait is up and down. So I know that you can use portrait on IG stories and on different formats, but if you film everything in landscape, that really can go on YouTube, it can go on IGTV, it can go on Facebook. It's really optimal to go on all platforms, and it's optimal to crop. So if you need to crop it for a story, or if you need to crop it for a different platform, that's really going to give you the best options for cropping. Also with the camera, where do you place the camera? Where is it at view? Look, we don't want to put the camera up high like we're doing a selfie. That is not optimal for videos. It's cute for selfies sometimes, but that's not what we're doing. So, and you don't want to have it too far down low because it's not optimal for looking our best on camera. That's what I'll say. You really want the camera eye level, or maybe even a little bit above. It can be a little bit above eye level if you want it to be, but it really truly needs to be pretty much eye level so that you can look straight into the lens. And remember, that's what you have to do. You have to look into the camera lens, or your eyes are going everywhere else and you're not connecting with your audience. So if you have a problem focusing on the camera lens, I take a sticky note or one of those little arrows that the lawyers use for you to do a signature, and I stick it right above the camera lens to train me where to look so that I can engage with you, make eye contact with you, and get what I'm saying from my heart to connect with you to your heart. So the one thing we want to do is really focus on making sure we have the right background or the right backdrop for the video we're going to make. So you can have a background that is busy, like I have. It really leans into my brand and to who I am as a speaker and a podcaster and a video person, but it doesn't necessarily take away. My daughter painted this for me knowing I was going to do videos, and so it's very intentionally put there, and everything I do is around that. But what you don't want to do is have a background that is so busy that it distracts. And when I mean busy, I mean that you have a bookshelf of 5,000 books behind you. Because someone with ADHD or someone that gets easily distracted is going to try counting all of your books and figure out how many books you have, or what does that title read, or do I have that one in my bookshelf? So I'm not saying don't have books. I'm saying try not to have a full library behind you because it could be distracting and just visually a little too much. I'm going to put some photos on here of optional backgrounds, like what an inspirational background is going to look like, to where you have very specific signs and footage on the wall that gives a feel for what you're doing. Or even a plain background that just really is simple and frames you well. And that's okay. You don't have to have anything extravagant as your background. What we don't want to do is distract people with a whole bunch of stuff behind us to where they can't hear or listen to what we're saying, or they see the laundry on your couch and they're like, eek, what is that? Here's another thing you don't want to do. And I love Zoom. Just so y'all know, I use Zoom. I love Zoom. But you don't want to use the Zoom green screen backgrounds. Nobody needs to see you floating in space or with some kind of tropical plant coming up your face. They're fun. They're a lot of fun to have, when you're trying to add humor to something. But for videos in social media, videos in podcasting, videos in general, that's probably not going to be the best background. So be intentional as to where you're going to shoot at. Pay attention to what's behind you as much as you do as to what is in front of you, and pick a really beautiful, easy background that supports your brand and doesn't distract from it. Videos. Y'all, lighting is so important. Lighting will literally make you or break you on a video. So it's really not an option not to have lighting. But I am going to show you the easy ways to get lighting and the most economical ways. So to have artificial lighting, it's Okay, it's not a problem, but you don't have to break the bank in doing it. I've got lighting from really cheap on Amazon to really extravagant because I take it on set to use in doing makeup. So I want to show you a few easy breezy lights that you can use no matter how you're videoing and no matter what you're videoing for. So my first one is really simple. You can get a ring light on Amazon for little or nothing. They're great. They work. They're adequate, especially if you're doing a one-person shoot. My other one that I use is this. So sometimes I'll do video shoots where I'm walking and showing backgrounds or talking or whatnot, and my camera goes in here, and then I have this little bitty light that turns on, and it's adjustable, you see? So this was really inexpensive and it works great if you're doing small video shoots and moving, or if you want to set it up behind your camera, if you want to set it up on your desk and shoot it while you're doing it, you're good to go. Another light that I have that is really awesome is a bar light. But I bought this because I was doing a lot of videoing on my laptop and on my desktop, and I literally Velcro it to the top of my monitor and turn it on. So if I'm videoing from my monitor and using the camera in my monitor or the camera in my desktop monitor, it sits on that and I have light that shines on me, and I can customize it to make it warmer, I can make it brighter, I can make it dimmer, and it's extremely affordable. It was less than $100, probably around $65 to $70. Wonderful bar light, and it's great when you're in an area. It's also portable. So if I needed to take it somewhere and shine it for a photo shoot, or if I needed to use it outside, it's battery operated and it's portable. So it was great. The last one I'm going to tell you about is my Pro Big Bad Mama Jamma. It is portable, but it's a little more intense. It's a multimedia one. I'm going to pop a picture on here because I'm actually using it right now, so I'm not going to turn it around and show you, but I'm going to pop a picture to let you see. It's a Glamcore light. It's customizable. It goes with me. It has its own stand. It has its own place to hold an iPad, a cell phone. It's pretty advanced for what we would use. It's not necessary, but it is a great, great tool. So you can get lighting really inexpensively and really easily and customize it for how you're going to do it or what you need. But what if you don't want to do any kind of artificial lighting? What about natural lighting? I got you. Okay, so I am outside on my back porch showing you what natural light looks like. Natural light is a great way to shoot. It is the perfect lighting, but there are some tips and tricks if you're going to use natural light. First things first, you want to make sure you're facing the source of the light. So in other words, if I pick this up and I turn it around, there's my natural light. But if you notice, it's not necessarily facing me, so I don't get the best light possible. So I want to make sure that I am facing that light and that light source is actually, hitting my face. The other thing you really don't want to do, and I'm going to show you why, is go directly into the bright sunlight. And it's an overcast day today, but when it's really sun shining, it makes you squint and causes weird shadows on your face, and it's just a little bit too much exposure. So if you can come into a shaded area that gives you the great sunlight reflection, then that's optimal and ideal. The other area I want to show you is inside my house. So this is my favorite place to shoot if I'm going to shoot inside, and with natural lighting right here. I'm going to set my little stand up just so I don't have to hold you and it's not all shaky. So right here is in my kitchen, and it is one of my favorite places to shoot. It's just a really homey feel, and I've got great lighting. Why did I choose this? Because the window lighting here is awesome. So here is the window lights, and all it is my blinds open. But I want to make sure that I am facing the light source. You see how much better it looks when you're facing the light source? So the one thing you want to remember when using natural light is don't overexpose it by being in direct sunlight. Make sure you're facing the light source, and then make sure that your background is a nice, pleasant background. So again, it doesn't distract and is well lit. Today, I want to talk to you about looking your best on camera. That is one of the biggest stressors that my clients have and that people I know who shoot video have. They just want to look good on camera or they don't like the way they look. So how can we make it better? Well, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. First things first, if you are a woman and you are worried about your makeup on camera, relax. YouTube and all these IG Insta people overdo the makeup look. It is not that hard and it is not that necessary. Most of our makeup is HD compatible or is compatible to the resolution of the camera you're going to be shooting in. Really, all you have to worry about is it polished? If you're a natural girl and you don't like makeup or you don't wear a lot of makeup, that's okay. You don't have to. Just let it be polished. Put yourself in front of the lights that you're going to use and take a photo with your camera. Because here's the thing, your camera makes a difference in the resolution that it carries and how it perceives you on camera, and your lights make a difference. So you may not need a whole lot of color in your face, but you may need a little more blush than you're comfortable with in person because it reads lighter on camera. So you just want to make sure that it is the look you want so you don't look washed out or sick or you don't look like a clown. Nobody wants that, right? The other thing I'm going to tell you is put together a polished look that is your brand, that represents you. If you are chilled and relaxed and wear t-shirts, that's cool. Wear it. But make sure it's polished and put together. Make sure it works with your background. If you have a very plain background, you can wear brighter colors and printed shirts and all of those things, and it's okay. But I have a very busy background, so I'm going to need to keep my dress a little bit simpler so it doesn't clash or distract the eye. The big thing about putting together a look for camera is that it's polished and it doesn't distract the viewer from what you are saying, because really the content and what you're saying is what's most important, not how you look. So we want to keep distractions down and our content up. I want to talk to you about video editing. If you're going to create videos, they have to be edited. And it can be a little scary and intimidating if you've never done it before, but there are some resources that can help you with that. If you are semi-tech savvy, you have some knowledge of technology, then there are some pretty simple video editing tools out there. I am a MacBook girl, so everything I do is on my Mac. I use iMovie. It's very easy, very user-friendly, and very simple. Now, mind you, I don't go super in-depth. I would not call myself a video editor, but I can take out some stuff in the front end, take out some stuff in the back end. I can split a clip here and there, remove things, all that stuff. And that's really all you need to be able to do is just add what you need to add and take away what you want to take away. So those programs like iMovie are pretty easy and they're pretty user-friendly to use. So whatever you're going to edit on, find a user-friendly editing tool and learn it. It's pretty simple. However, if that's not an option for you and you're like, I got no techie skills, I'm not tech savvy at all. For years and years and years, I used Fiverr, which is a third-party program of outsourcing work and content and having people do things for you. And it's pretty affordable. So someone on there can edit your videos for YouTube, edit your videos for social media content within a matter of a couple of days, and it's very inexpensive. What you have to know in sending that over is that you have to give them editor's notes. Editor's notes is where you're watching the video and you say, oh, I want this clip taken out. You need to give them the timestamp of that clip. So say it's at minute 1 and second 32 that it comes up. So you're going to write down 1:32, delete, That way they know what you want them to do. So you write the timestamp down and then you tell them what you want. Or at minute 4:32, add this photo and then connect the photo. So you can really tell them what you need and what you want and not have to do it. And they can give you your vision with just some simple editor's notes. I hope this helps. It's pretty simple, but that's all we really need to create great video content. Either know that you can do it yourself with an easy program, or outsource it and know how to give the instructions that video editors need to be able to give you the content you're looking for.